Have you ever wondered why there are no bridges between Europe and Africa? It's an intriguing question, isn't it? To answer that, let's first take a look at the geographical positioning of these two continents and the natural barrier that lies between them. Europe and Africa share a close proximity, separated by a span of water known as the Mediterranean Sea. This sea is a vast body of water stretching over 2 million square kilometers. Now you might think, well, we've built bridges over water before, so why not here? The answer lies in the Strait of Gibraltar, a narrow waterway that connects the Mediterranean Sea to the Atlantic Ocean. This strait, at its narrowest point, is roughly 14.3 kilometers wide. That's a considerable distance, and while we have the technology to build long bridges, this isn't just about distance. The depth of the strait, as well as the strong currents, add to the complexity of any potential construction project. But the challenges don't stop there. Let's add another layer to this geographical puzzle: tectonic plates. The Earth's crust is divided into several large and small pieces, known as tectonic plates, that float on the Earth's semi-fluid mantle layer. The Strait of Gibraltar is situated at a complex boundary where the African plate meets the Eurasian plate. This tectonic activity creates a dynamic and, at times, volatile environment that would pose significant risks to any large-scale construction, such as a bridge. So, you see, building a bridge between Europe and Africa isn't just about spanning a gap. It's about understanding and overcoming a multitude of geographical and geological challenges. The distance, the depth, the currents, and the tectonic activity all come together to create a situation where building a bridge is far from straightforward. So, it's not as simple as just building a bridge from point A to point B, but don't lose hope just yet. There's still plenty to discuss as we delve deeper into this fascinating topic. Stay tuned for more. History tells us of many ambitious projects, so have there been any attempts to bridge this gap? Certainly it's not as if the idea hasn't been considered. Over the years, numerous proposals have been made to connect Europe and Africa, not least of which was the Euro-Africa Interconnector project. This ambitious plan aimed to link the two continents via a subsea cable, promising to revolutionize the energy sector by providing a reliable and sustainable electricity connection. However, like many grandiose plans, it hit some serious roadblocks. The financial implications of such an undertaking are massive. The cost of construction alone would run into the billions of dollars, and that's before you factor in the cost of maintenance, security, and potential repairs. But the hurdles aren't just financial. Political considerations play a significant part too. The bridge or tunnel would need to cross international borders, necessitating cooperation and agreement between multiple countries. This raises a host of complex issues, from jurisdiction and governance to security and immigration control. And then there are the environmental concerns. The Strait of Gibraltar is a critical habitat for many marine species, and any construction activity could have a devastating impact on the local ecosystem. There are also potential risks to shipping, as the strait is a major maritime route. Moreover, the region is seismically active, making it a challenging site for construction. A bridge or tunnel would need to withstand not only the regular stresses of use, but also the potential for earthquakes. But perhaps the most significant obstacle is the sheer depth and breadth of the strait itself. At its narrowest point, the strait is about 14 kilometers wide and up to 900 meters deep. Building a bridge or tunnel of that magnitude would be a feat of engineering unlike anything we've seen before. So, while the idea of a bridge or tunnel connecting Europe and Africa may seem attractive, the reality is far more complex. The challenges are many and varied, and it's likely to remain a dream for the foreseeable future. While the idea may seem attractive, the reality is far more complex. Without a bridge, how does this impact the way we travel and trade between these two continents? It's a question that's likely crossed your mind, and it's a significant one. The absence of a direct road link between Europe and Africa has shaped the way we move goods and people across these continents. Let's take a look at the current methods of transport. The vast majority of trade between Europe and Africa is conducted by sea. Massive cargo ships traverse the Mediterranean, carrying everything from automobiles to zucchini. It's a system that's been in place for centuries and it works. But it's not perfect. Shipping can be slow and subject to the whims of weather and sea conditions. Air travel, on the other hand, provides a faster, though more expensive, alternative. Millions of passengers fly between Europe and Africa each year, and air freight is a vital link for time-sensitive goods. But again, it's not without its challenges. Air travel is subject to its own sets of delays and disruptions, and it's not the most environmentally friendly option. Now imagine a bridge or tunnel spanning the Strait of Gibraltar. The potential benefits are enticing. Travel and trade could become quicker, more efficient, and potentially more cost-effective. A direct road link could foster greater economic integration between Europe and Africa, and potentially even contribute to reducing inequality. But let's not forget the potential drawbacks. Building such a structure would be a colossal undertaking, fraught with technical and environmental challenges, not to mention the astronomical cost. And once built, it would need to handle a significant volume of traffic to be economically viable. The absence of a bridge doesn't stop the flow of goods and people, but it does shape it in unique ways. The current methods of transport have evolved over centuries to meet the demands of trade and travel between Europe and Africa. As we look to the future, it's worth considering how a bridge or tunnel could transform these relationships, but also the potential challenges such a project would entail. So what could the future hold for a Europe-Africa connection? As we gaze into the crystal ball of future possibilities, we see a landscape teeming with technological advancements and innovative ideas. Could these be the keys to unlocking a physical connection between Europe and Africa? Let's delve a little deeper. In the realm of engineering, we're seeing leaps and bounds in the development of materials and design methods. Imagine ultra-strong, lightweight materials that could span the Strait of Gibraltar, or tunneling technologies that could burrow beneath the Mediterranean seafloor. Theoretically, these advancements could make the construction of a bridge or tunnel more feasible than ever before. But as always, there are challenges to consider. The Strait of Gibraltar is a busy shipping lane, and any bridge would need to accommodate this. The geology of the seafloor is complex and potentially unstable, posing a risk to any tunnel. The costs associated with such ambitious projects are astronomical, and the question of who would foot the bill is still up in the air. Not to mention, the environmental impact of such a project could be significant. We must remember that any development should aim to minimize harm to our planet and its ecosystems. Yet despite these challenges, the desire for a closer Europe-Africa connection remains strong. In the absence of a physical bridge, we see other forms of connection strengthening. Digital bridges are being built, with increased internet connectivity bringing people closer together. Trade relationships continue to develop, with the implementation of new policies and agreements. The future may also bring innovative transport solutions that reduce the need for a physical bridge. Think hyperloop systems or even more efficient ferry services. These could provide faster, eco-friendly ways to traverse the distance between the two continents. While the dream of a bridge may remain just that, a dream, the connection between these two continents continues to evolve in fascinating ways. As we continue to innovate and adapt, who knows what the future may hold for the Europe-Africa connection?